Hello. So you're here because you have a problem. You are more attracted to two-dimensional fictional characters than you are real-life people. Well, don't worry, because today I'm going to teach you how to cure that if you want, and if not, I'm going to go over a bunch of different examples of very attractive anime characters for you to lust over. Let's start. Make sure you grab your cup because it's time to spill the anime tea. So to understand our attraction to anime characters, we first need to start with our heads. And no, not that one, the one up here. Keep your minds clean, please. This is a very family-friendly show. Disclaimer that I am not a psychologist. I have an art degree, but I looked some things up on the internet, and basically the internet says that a few things make up general romantic attraction. One is similarities, so sharing characteristics with a person, or in this case a fictional animated person. Empathy, or the ability to relate to and share compassion with another being or even an object. Reciprocity, which is mutual feelings, or two people who are really into each other and knowing that they're into each other, basically. And there's physical attraction, which is just, hotness, looking great, all that. We're gonna dive very deeply into that. But yeah, let's talk about empathy. So empathy has a lot to do also with personality and similarities and being able to connect to another person, or in this case, animated people. And of course, anime characters tend to have the best personality types because creators want to make their characters really, really likable. And to do that, they have to make them usually one of three main things. They have to be really kind, they have to be really energetic and passionate, or they can just be really relatable. That could mean like being honest with their feelings, or being more reserved with their feelings, or just not giving a flying look what is happening in the world. People are attracted to people who share these kind of characteristics, and they generally either want to be friends with them, or sometimes in other cases more. If you've ever played a dating sim, or if you've ever watched a harem anime or a reverse harem anime, you've seen all the different kinds of personality types that creators have made to appeal to audiences so that people can buy their game and feel some kind of connection to their characters. Prince types are the kind that just, will wait on you hand and foot, come to your rescue. Basically what Disney taught us with their early princess movies and all that. So you can think of characters like Tamaki Suo from Ouran High School Host Club, who was my personal favorite prince when I was growing up. And then of course there is Utena Tenjo from Revolutionary Girl Utena, who's just, revolutionary badass. Of course, we have the distant but sweet characters, and many of you may know them as the tsunderes. These characters tend to keep their distance at first, but in the end, the main character or some of the other characters are able to convince them, or able to break through their shell and get them to rely on them and, get close to them and all that. For example, best girl Mai Sakurajima from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai definitely embodies this and is probably like the pinnacle of best tsunderes, as well as Kyosoma from Fruits Basket, again, stole my childhood heart. And tsunderes are interesting too because they're basically just regular people. If you meet a regular person in real life, they're not gonna just automatically tell you everything about themselves. They're gonna be a little bit reserved at first. Then there's also my favorite, which is the extremely macho and will probably leave you an emotional wreck, which is Jotaro Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And literally any man in JoJo's really will probably leave you an emotional wreck. There's also Endeavor from My Hero Academia, who is, abusive father, but still is a daddy. If you know what I mean. Oh my god, this is gonna be terrible. There's also the so obsessed that they might kill you. This is a trope for some reason. I don't know why. If a stalker wasn't bad enough, they decided to make characters that will literally murder you if they do not get with you. And I don't know why. These are called yanderes. Obviously the most, the stable girl for yanderes is Yuno Gasai from Mirai Nikki, also known as Future Diary. I looked up men yanderes in anime, and Griffith from Berserk comes up, and you can see it. As soon as you look in his eyes, you just know. But if you haven't watched the movies yet, you should, but maybe you shouldn't. But if you did, you probably know that he definitely fits this. And of course, there's my ultimate favorite, emotionally unstable, but actually in love with his childhood best friend, but can't admit it, which is Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto. Just like from these examples, you can see that similarities and empathy come into play with a lot of these personality types. And of course, empathy, when you see more docile characters, you want to protect them, or more innocent characters, you want to take care of them. When you see characters struggling, you like rooting them on internally because you care about them. You know their life stories, you know their backstories, and you want good things for them. And it's probably because, again, relating back to empathy, you deep down relate to some kind of struggle that they're going through that you may also be going through as well, or that you have gone through in the past, that makes you want them to succeed so that you can succeed. Let's talk about physical attraction. It's gonna be the most awkward part for me because I'm an awkward dork. Before we get to that though, make sure you like this video if you're enjoying it so far, because it lets me know if I am making good stuff and if you like it, and if I should keep making stuff like this, because I really like making them. Let's talk about everything, all the things that you came here for, the reason you came to this video, which is talking about physical attraction to anime characters. It's gonna be so strange. My family's gonna look at me so weird after this. Anyway, let's talk about women. So women in anime tend to have two things that make them stand out from ordinary regular women in the everyday world, and that is big eyes and a big heart. You know, you can't have a character that doesn't have big eyes and a big heart in anime. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. They always have to have one or the other. So the internet psychology for physical attraction basically is that just animals in general are attracted to things that are larger or more idealized than they are originally given. So for example, in nature, when peacocks are trying to get together, you know, there's the male peacock who has giant pluming feathers, all pretty and like bright and green and black and all different kinds of colors. And then the female is, you know, usually regular brown. But the female is attracted to the male because of all these colors and, like, I'll just say this visual attraction to bright, pretty things. And anime being art and art being design, anime plays off of this concept that humans love to look at very idealized versions of themselves. Just like those terrible infomercials that show people who work out, you know, every day nonstop for a year, working out on these tiny little machines that are supposed to give you abs. Anime also plays off of that with anime characters by giving them certain features that you may not see that often in real life on normal people. For example, big eyes and big hearts on women, or, you know, giant bulging muscles on men. This all also plays back into like our primitive lizard brains back from how long ago were humans created? 200,000 years ago, when we all have the same kind of brain setup as our ancestors. So that's fun. But basically that means that we primitively like judge things as good or bad pretty quickly based off of visual cues. So example, women with big eyes and hearts are primitively believed to bear children easier because, you know, they have bigger stuff to deal with the children. So for example, Rengiku from Bleach has all the assets, and she's also just a fun older character that kind of acts like a drunk older sister type that people find attractive in anime. It's also a trope. You can also see Misaki from Neon Genesis Evangelion. But Rengiku definitely has the biggest eyes, I think, in this specific example. Also, Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann, and we're specifically going to talk about the adult version of her, so we're going to do the time skip version of her in Gurren Lagann because I don't want to go to jail. And her personality is actually just more energetic, feisty, action type. Certified badass woman, basically. And then there's Noelle from Burn the Witch, who is our like somber, kind of quiet softie, who seems like she doesn't care. She's kind of a tsundere, but she really does deep down care about her friends. And of course, the ability to hold a cup. Insert picture. Also, there is Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which, you know, all of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is just filled with eyes. But Toru plays into this doting, overbearing, loving girlfriend type who wants to just have you eat her tail. And there's just so many subtle innuendos about that. The whole show is an innuendo, honestly. Anyway, there's also women with really strong personality types and really strong bodybuilding types, and these can be attractive to any kind of people who are interested or attracted to people who can take care of them or who like being cared for. For example, feeding back into the fact that sexual attraction back in our primitive days means that someone who is really strong or buff looking is probably able to provide for you and protect you better. Strong women like Noi from Dorohedoro, who I personally love. She's just great, and she just has an adorable, bubbly personality and just a thick, built body. It's great. She's perfect. There's also Mirko from My Hero Academia, who everyone is in love with, including me. But I also just look up to her. I want to be her. I want to be strong and just beat people up and go about your day. Like, what a queen. Also, there's Maki from Fire Force, who does the same. You know, she'll just beat you up. She'll beat people up. Sometimes she's called the Gorilla Cyclops, but she's also just a sweetheart who wants to be rescued like everybody else. So There's just various degrees to these people, or anime characters. I'm supposed to help you figure out that these anime characters are not real people, and I am the one getting lost in all this. So we talked about the waifus, let's talk about the husbandos for all of my people who love husbandos. People believe that men who are buffer or have stronger body types are able to provide better. And of course, people look up to these types of characters in anime, men or otherwise, because basically provide an ability to escape into this form of a person who is overpowered and strong and buff. Maybe something that the real life person probably is not, or probably doesn't see themselves as. Big buff superheroes like Guts from Berserk, Goku from Dragon Ball Z, Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Again, any main male character from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fits this narrative, and it's on purpose. Yeah, not only can these characters look great in any outfit that they wear, but they can also just be buff and probably break your hearts at the same time. And Zoro from One Piece, of course. And of course, there's also the reverse with men as well. The men characters or the male characters in anime who are more docile are more attractive because you want to protect them. You may like them because you like that they're more docile and you can kind of step in and take care of them. Or they also just relate to, people who are actually like that in real life. Like, not everyone's a big old macho, buff dude just walking around, with their muscles out. But some people are just, they're calm. Some people are nervous. It's okay. We're all different people. So characters like Edgy from Banana Fish, who is just the sweetest character. And you want to protect every single time. Even though he wants to step in the line of fire for his friend Ash, he's just a sweet boy. And there's also Alucard from Castlevania, who is also a sweet boy. He's their sweet vampire boy. That's what I call him. I love him to pieces. And he's just gorgeous from head to toe. He's a half vampire, half human hybrid being. So what more can you want? And he's just a crazy, amazing fighter. And again, looks gorgeous while doing it. I think he can fit into the JoJo's Bizarre Universe, honestly. There's Legoshi from Beastars, who is just moody and always in his mind, and he's also a wolf boy, and he just, you can't just not love a wolf boy who is in his feelings all the time. Deku from My Hero Academia, of course, is a crybaby. He's a cancer, he's crying all the time, as well as Tanjiro. They're both cancers, and it makes all the sense in the world, but they both care about their people. They both care about trying to save people, and they have people that they want to protect. And they will do their best to do it, but they will cry a little bit along the way, and that's okay because they're adorable and they're also children. So yes, and also there's Mob from Mob Psycho 100, who doesn't cry as much, but he's still a soft boy because, he's awkward, he doesn't quite fit in, but when he can go off and go 100%, he goes off. And, he has his own superpower and super strength. And, seeing him come to terms with that in his journey is also just a great time. And he's just a cute little soft boy. They're all so cute and soft. I love them. Anyway, before I go to jail, let's talk about pretty boys, who are usually pretty popular in anime, because anime and in Japan, pretty boys are more the thing, whereas I feel like in the US, we like more macho-looking people. Pretty boys are usually composed, intelligent, and they're really fun to look at. Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen is, he's Gojo. He's beautiful. I love the fact that they decided to draw him more as a pretty boy, and especially in the anime, even more so, just make him look like a pretty boy and kind of play to that, because in a lot of other anime that are shonen based anime from manga, it tends to be more macho. There's also Sebastian from Black Butler, who, if you can't get past his beautiful face, then the English voice dub will definitely do it for you. And there's Hawks from My Hero Academia, which I added him to this list. I don't see him on a lot of pretty boy lists, but I feel like he's a pretty boy because he has that eyeliner thing going on, his hair is up, he has wings, he's kind of like an angel. So I feel like he fits in that. Of course, I can't not mention pretty boys without talking about Daisuke Kanbei, who took over the internet for an entire month, when the trailer for Millionaire Detective first came out, and stole everyone's hearts, including my own. But he was beautiful, he's rich, what more than you want. So let's talk about reciprocity real quick, because mutual feelings are very important in real life relationships, and just as important in anime. Because there's no social awkwardness in anime and in anime characters, and because we only see certain sides of an anime character, we as people, we who are attracted to anime characters, do not have to worry about seeing or being rejected by these characters. We are able to view all the aspects of a character's life from a very safe distance and, kind of love them from afar, like a creepy stalker, basically like a creepy internet stalker. We are the guy from You. But yeah, since there's no fear of rejection, it's easier for people to just love a character more because they don't have to worry about like trying to impress someone, improve themselves, and getting to learn about a person and, you know, having to actually talk to a person, God forbid. It's much easier to just see someone or see an anime character who's already an idealized version of whatever kind of type that you like and fall in love with them. But this is how you remind yourself that anime characters are not real and they will never be, and you need to get over it and move on with your life. The anime is basically an exaggeration of everything that you want a person to be. They're an idealized version of many different personality types, and of course the personality types of a character are put into the way that they are designed and the way that they look. If you want to learn more about that, I made a whole other video which you can go watch about what makes an anime character popular. But yeah, they're literally designed to be attractive, and that's the main purpose of them. Creators want people to love their characters because they want them to, you know, reach many audiences. They want people to relate to them. They want people to like them. That's the whole point of a character. You know, besides, you know, being the vehicle in which a really important story or theme is told, characters are physical representations of traits of a person that are usually found through subsurface non-visual things, such as like personality and dialogue and thoughts. It's much easier to point out these qualities in anime characters because they're literally visually laid out in their design, and also their entire life stories are chronologically told in a very easy to understand manner, which is never the case in real life. If you go to a person and go on a date, you're not going to find all this person's life story out in a very linear manner. You're going to probably learn a few things that they want you to know, and then over time you're going to get to know who they really are, which takes a lot more effort, time, practice, and confidence. And I also want to point out that anime isn't the only one to play off of this. Lots of real life things and other fictional things play off of this as well, including characters that are written in books, characters in TV shows that are acted by real life people but are idealized versions of a specific character from a show or a story or concept. And then of course there's celebrities, people online and streamers and internet celebrities and all that who look and act a certain way to appeal to audiences because they know that people will like them because they like these types of personality traits, but in real life they may not actually be like this. They could be totally different. People present themselves a certain way so that you can like them. And how is that much different from how creators create a character for you to like them? Anyway, I can go into a lot more detail about how characters are designed and made more attractive, but I already made a video about that I kind of mentioned earlier, but please go watch that. It's going to pop up somewhere on your screen. My name is Phoenix. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Be aware of pretty boys in anime, and don't buy all the waifus in Genshin Impact. That's my advice for you today. Bye.